In the last Assembly elections, the Welsh Liberal Democrats did not do as well as we had hoped. For the third successive time, we brought 6 Assembly members back to the National Assembly, a result which I think disappointed a lot of people and certainly went against the expectations with which we had gone into that election. One of the reasons, I think, why we failed to secure the result we wanted was because we spent far too long over the last 4 years in this building here, the National Assembly for Wales, talking about issues without really relating what we were doing to the people's concerns on the ground. I think that as an Assembly group, we mistook the activity we were undertaking here for what needed to be done out in our communities. That is a mistake we cannot afford to make again. As an Assembly group, we need to start offering leadership to the party. We need to go out into communities, talking to people, listening to their concerns, and translating those concerns into new policies which reflect our principles and our values. We then need to make sure that people understand what we stand for and can relate to them. In effect, we need to relearn how to campaign. I've just come from a meeting with the Powys County Council Liberal Democrat group about affordable housing in their area. This is a key issue for Liberal Democrats around Wales, and one which I hope that we can do a great deal with in the Assembly and also working with local councils, particularly those run by Liberal Democrats. One of the issues I think which faces the Welsh Liberal Democrat Assembly group is how we deal with our councils and our council groups. Welsh Liberal Democrats already control or have influence in a number of councils. We lead in Swansea, in Bridgend, in Wrexham and in Cardiff. We have influence in Powys, in Ceredigion and Conwy. We are in effect a force to be reckoned with at local government level. As an Assembly group, we need to take advantage of that. We need to learn and build on the experience that our councillors have, and we need to take into account their views and their opinions in what we do in the Assembly chamber. We need to work far more closely with our local councillors, invite them to our group meetings, go out to their group meetings, listen and take account of what they want to see happen in the Welsh Assembly. As an Assembly group, I believe that we need to do a lot more of that. It's something we haven't been too good at in the past, but it is something which I believe can be done much better in the future. The one thing we need to be doing over the next 3.5 years is to emphasise our distinctiveness as Welsh Liberal Democrats. There may be a huge consensus here in Cardiff Bay on a whole range of issues, but there is still only one Liberal Party in Wales, and the policies and values we espouse mark us out from the others. These include the need to play to our strength as champions of freedom, civil liberties and individual empowerment. Not so easy in an entirely Welsh context, but certainly there are issues about ID cards and whether they'll be used to access services, the way we are policed, the DNA database and the management of personal information by government and its agencies, which can be used as the basis for our campaigns. The need to make the most of what is left of European funding to create a knowledge-based economy in which we have a proper science policy, in which investment in research leads to the creation of high-quality jobs, encouragement for the growth of indigenous small businesses, and where we take the green agenda and offer greater support for businesses which are developing environmental technologies, particularly renewable energy. We should also look at how we are developing recycling and ensure that there are mainstream markets for recycled products, as well as facilities here in Wales to carry out that process. In the area of social justice, we should concentrate on removing the barriers that prevent people fulfilling their potential, including inaccessible healthcare, bad housing conditions, a poor environment, inadequate educational achievement and the lack of training. We need to create opportunities for those individuals by putting in place a support structure that will enable them to grow. This will include better childcare, preventative health measures and the ability to access education and training without a punitive financial burden being placed upon them. Safer communities are also a major issue. We need to provide the resources so that neighbourhoods can be adequately policed, but also we need to tackle antisocial behaviour directly by working with young people and providing facilities for them so as to assist police in getting them off the streets and into some useful activity. Finally, we need to empower communities and the individuals that live in them by opening up government, making it more transparent and accountable, and giving people a greater say in the decisions that affect their lives and that of their family. In particular, we need to work with communities to maintain vital local services, such as the local post office network that helps to provide cohesion and a focal point for community life. We also need to ensure that governance structures are fit for purpose, accountable, transparent and representative. That requires, at a minimum, fair voting for local government. The broad narrative here is one of the Welsh Liberal Democrats as an effective opposition, in touch with the needs and views of local communities. A party which can make the Assembly work better because we understand people's concerns and are able to turn them into workable policies that will deliver more benefits for them. A party that has already been in government once, has made a success of it and will do so again.